Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. In Ghostlight, the movie delves into the emotional turmoil of Dan, a middle-aged construction worker, and his family as they cope with the loss of Dan's teenage son, Brian, who died by suicide. The grief is compounded by Dan's decision to file a wrongful death lawsuit against Brian's girlfriend, Christine, and her parents, adding a layer of conflict and complexity to the family's struggle. Daisy, Dan's 16-year-old daughter, initially finds herself unable to express her emotions at home, leading to frequent outbursts at school. Her father, Dan, is a stoic figure who has difficulty showing his feelings, creating a barrier between him and his family. This situation only intensifies when Daisy is suspended from school after a particularly severe incident. At home, Sharon, Dan's wife and a theater director, attempts to manage her own grief while also dealing with Dan's emotional distance and the impact of the lawsuit. Dan's journey to becoming the Romeo in a local production of Romeo and Juliet is pivotal. He initially struggles to connect with his emotions and fears, feeling isolated from his castmates. Rita, the actress playing Juliet, helps Dan open up and confront his feelings. A confrontation during rehearsals leads to Dan's suspension from work after a video of the incident goes viral. This personal crisis adds another layer to his already strained family dynamic. As the play progresses, Dan's objections to the tragic ending of Romeo and Juliet stem from his own unresolved grief over Brian's death. He finds it hard to understand why anyone would take such drastic actions for love, echoing his own unresolved pain. His outburst leads to a moment of vulnerability where his castmates, realizing his deep emotional wounds, offer him comfort. Through this process, Dan begins to see the therapeutic value of the play in processing his grief. Daisy and Sharon discover Dan's involvement in the play after noticing his frequent absences and growing closeness with Rita. Daisy's confrontation with Dan at the theater, where she accuses him of infidelity, reveals her own emotional turmoil and misunderstanding. This moment is crucial for Daisy, as it leads her to rediscover her passion for theater, inspired by Rita's performance. Dan, trying to reconcile with his family, invites Daisy into his world, but the revelation of his suspension adds to the tensions. As the movie nears its conclusion, the play becomes a catalyst for healing within the family. Dan's struggles with the play's ending reflect his unresolved feelings about Brian's death, particularly Brian's tragic overdose. Dan's shift in perspective during the deposition, where he recounts Brian's relationship with Christina, leads to conflicts with Sharon and Daisy. They feel Dan's focus on his own emotional needs has overshadowed their collective grief. In the final performance of Romeo and Juliet, Dan's portrayal of Romeo takes on new meaning as he sees a silhouette resembling Brian. The experience brings a moment of clarity for both Dan and Sharon. Dan's newfound understanding of Romeo from Brian's perspective allows Sharon to begin mourning Brian's death more openly. This revelation marks a significant step in the family's healing process, as Dan and Daisy's shared experience in the play helps bridge the emotional gaps that had divided them. What did you think of Dan's journey and the play's role in his emotional healing? Share your thoughts in the comments below.